good to see you. I'm your counsellor, Alison. Come in and take a seat. I see from your first visit consent form that you filled out in reception that you've come to see me for stress. You've also mentioned that you've been diagnosed with an auditory processing disorder. Can you tell me a little bit about your APD before we begin? I just want to see how best I can accommodate you and ensure that we communicate well with each other. Is there any special way I can help you with communication in regards to your APD?
Oh, thanks, Alison. That's really nice. Most people don't even ask. I have okay hearing, but I do find it hard to distinguish sounds when there's sort of background noise. Because it's just you and me here, it shouldn't be a problem.
Great. We shouldn't be interrupted here. I brought it up because a very good friend of mine has a teenage son with APD and he's told me of his difficulties.
That's good to know.
So, would you like to tell me about your stress?
Well, it's kind of related to school.
Are you okay? You look upset.
Well, it's two things really. When I was homeschooling during COVID, I actually was starting to do okay in some of my subjects, especially English, which I've always struggled with. Anyhow, now that I'm back in the classroom, I'm finding it really difficult with group work, hearing what the teacher is saying and then trying to concentrate on my own work. It's really distracting. There's also this kid in my class who's been bullying me. And now that we're back, she's really not letting up.
Oh dear.
About 3 weeks ago, I was in the classroom and it was getting really noisy. My friends and I were just mucking around, nothing bad. We were just about to start some group work. But then this other kid got angry with me and started pushing me around, and she even spat in the face.
Oh, goodness.
It was so gross, I was shocked. I tried to defend myself and push her back, and I called her a loser, which I know it's not good to say. The teacher pulled us up, and even though I didn't start it, I got into a heap of trouble. My parents were called to the school, and I was suspended for 3 days and got into a heap of trouble with my dad. So now the kid that bullied me has joined my school basketball team, and she's embarrassing me in front of my friends with really cruel comments. She's a really, really good player and the coach loves her. She bullies me when the coach isn't looking, and I'm not sure what to do, and now I really hate going to school and I hate basketball.
That sounds really awful. Yes, I can imagine.
Well, then on top of that, because I was so stressed and not sleeping, I was stressed about the exams coming up.
So what sort of feelings has that brought up for you?
Well, I'm really angry at this kid.
Yeah.
Angry at myself that I fought back and got into trouble, but also anxious. I don't like tuning up to school or basketball training anymore, and I sort of get these anxiety attacks now like a couple of times a week.
Ring, 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 ring. Oh, sorry, look, I have to take this call. It's one of my patients. She's just separated from her husband. Oh, hi, Anne. Yes, it's me, Alison. So sorry to hear what's happened. Look, Anne, I'm free in about 20 minutes and we can have a long chat then. Could I give you a call back then? Okay, great. So sorry, Sonia. That was a patient I've known for years and we've become good friends, and it has been a real shock for me.
Are you sure you're okay? Do you want me to maybe come back another time? I don't mind if you're feeling feeling upset. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. I'm so sorry for the interruption, Sonia. I should have turned my phone off.
That's okay. It's okay.
Thank you. Now, where were we? Sorry, you were telling me that you've been anxious and stressed lately because you've been bullied at both school and at basketball.
Are you sure you're okay? I don't mind coming back.
No, it's all good. So tell me about your anxiety. Have you seen any other healthcare professionals for it?
No.
No? And so are you currently on any medications for anxiety, or have you taken any medications for anxiety in the past?
No, should I be? I'm not really into doctors that much. My family sees a naturopath, so I've always gone to them, but haven't yet about this.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe then we can sort of refocus now on your current feelings. I do apologise for that interruption. I want to assure you that this time we have together is to focus on you and how we come up with some useful strategies for you. So let's just go back to what we were talking about before. Tell me about what you are currently experiencing with anxiety and how you think you're coping.
Well, I don't feel like I'm coping very well.
I completely understand that it would be difficult for you to cope in these circumstances. In fact, most people would find your circumstances really challenging. Let's work together to come up with some strategies for you.
Well, some days have been pretty bad.
Pretty bad? Tell me more about that.
I think I've always had some sort of low-level anxiety since I was a little kid because of my APD. I'm always nervous when I go to parties and things like that, as the background noise is distracting and I can't concentrate on what other people are talking about. It's hard to hear what people are saying and keep up with the conversation. You can't just fake it, not all the time. Eventually people find out that you haven't really heard a word they've been saying. So I kind of keep it to myself with just a few friends from basketball at school knowing. But outside of that, I'm just pretty low-key.
I would imagine that would be really hard for you, Sonia.
Yeah, thank you, Alison. No one seems to get that sense of isolation that I experience with my APD. I don't get it. Everyone just assumes I'm okay and happy and everything's going fine, but it's not.
Sonia, yes, I've had a couple of chats with my friend Paul about his son, and he says he has experienced similar things when he is in groups of people. So I think it might be a common sort of experience. You know that it's hard to keep up with people's conversations if everyone is talking and there is a lot of background noise. It can be quite isolating, even though you were with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what it's like. I get sick of saying, what? Pardon? I didn't hear that. Sometimes I just try to fake it, but then you give the wrong body language, like you nod and smile when you shouldn't have, and something serious and bad that they've said.
It's good that now you're taking the time to speak to a counsellor about this, and also with the recent trauma that you've experienced.
I don't really feel like telling the whole world about everything, so I thought I'd get some professional help.
That's terrific you've done that. There's lots we can work with on. Now tell me, I might move forward. Going on a little. So what do you think would help you now, just so we're on the same page and we can work together to achieve the aims you want to achieve?
Well, my dad told me that counselling would be good for my stress and anxiety. I'd really like to stop my mind going over and over that incident in class. And I'd like to stop that feeling of stress and irritability that I'm constantly feeling.
I understand that, Sonia. I think seeing a counsellor skilled in these types of stresses and trauma would be the best way to go. I'd be really happy to assist you.
That's really cool. Thank you.
Terrific. Okay, let's focus on your sleep first. Is it hard for you to get to sleep? Are you worrying and thinking all the time so maybe that's your first priority, to get that better quality sleep for you? Does that sound okay for you?
Yes, yeah.
Terrific. Okay, so next week I'd like you to come in and we'll have a consultation to work through some strategies to help you slow your mind down and get a better night's sleep.
Yep, thank you. See you next week.
Thank you.